Yay!
You do.
Hey everybody, we're live. Conversations Plus. Now we're live. I got the double bing bang. Scott and Carolyn are here. I always want to say Caroline because of the poltergeist. I wanted like Caroline.
Oh yeah.
I routinely.
Or it is Carolyn. Never mind.
Routinely circle people.
Oh, it is Carolyn. That's
share
right.
or comment on my posts, and you're in
Cool.
that circle. So.
Awesome. So we're live. Conversations Plus is just a place to chill and hang out after the show. We had a great show with Scott and Carolyn, and there they are. So yeah, your art. I mean, I don't know if anyone else has gotten art, if they've sent art to anyone in here, but they do routinely send art for the holidays and other times. And it's an awesome drawing Carolyn did of me looking like Elvis in the bathrobe. And how long does it normally take to do some of these? There you go. How long does it take? How long does it take you to do the crayon one? Like a couple of hours, or?
Yeah, that probably took a couple hours.
What about like the one of the two of you?
Those were a joint project between us, so I drew the picture and then cut them out, and then he hand colored them all, and then I glued them onto the background. So, I mean, It took us a couple hours to do probably the whole ton of them that we made.
Your fingers were right here, and
Yep.
fingers. We're touching each other. Yeah.
There's not enough glue stick right there.
What? No, it's true. We're connected, man. But yeah, everyone, feel free to talk. Trying to have some dinner here, some zucchini sticks and veal rollatini, so not tacos, but...
Administrator. Hey, Administrator.
Maddox is here. He likes to sleep at Hangouts.
Previously liked to sleep. I don't think he's actually slept at a hangout for a while.
Oh my God, he's breaking the pattern.
He's the artist who formerly slept at hangout.
It shouldn't be administrator. It should be artist formerly known as the sleeper. You know? The Hangout sleeper.
The Hangout sleeper.
Hey Matthew.
Hey, Hangout sleeper.
You know I already got a page for that.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, it's called Pulling the Madhouse.
What's it called?
Pulling the Madhouse.
Awesome. Alright, so I'm in New York and you guys are in New Mexico and Tim is upstate and Robert is in South Dakota. Maddox, where are you again?
Detroit.
You're in Detroit, duh. Eminem's your third cousin, I forgot. And I forgot where you are, Wanda, I'm sorry.
I'm in Virginia, East Coast.
Virginia, I didn't think I knew that. I knew you were East Coast, I didn't know which state, though.
Yeah, I'm missing my home state, though, which is Kansas, my hometown. They got 14 inches of snow.
We talked about Kansas earlier.
If you watched the show, yeah, the earlier, it was Kansas Jayhawks. Scott went to University of Kansas.
Yep.
You were both in Kansas, and now you're both out, and the snow is in Kansas. So.
Yeah, exactly. My kids were like, we chose the wrong time to come back to Virginia.
Or at the right time, depending on how you look at it.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. If anybody wants to invite anybody to the show, here's a link. I'll put in there if you want anyone that wants to join us. We still have a couple of spots. So Carolyn and Scott, they've been on Google Plus. They've been rocking it. This is their second hangout now. 2 hangouts. So what are your observations from what you thought it would be? I mean, you kind of went backwards. You did the on-air first. Most people just kind of hang out and then they do the on-air. So.
No, I mean, it's been fun. It's been interesting. I wasn't really sure because we hadn't done this before, so.
I think we're down with participating.
Down.
Cool.
I'm down with you,
people.
I'm a big fan of the propane tank art.
Thanks.
I really like that stuff. You know, I think folk art is something that needs to make a comeback. You know, I'm from Indiana, and a large part of Indiana is very, very rural. So you tend to be driving along, and all of a sudden, there's a grizzly bear carved out of a log. You know, I mean, you know, it's pretty regular thing. So.
Well, folk art, you know, it brings it to simpler terms, and it's easy to accept and understand. It's the Johnny Big Boy out in front of the hamburger joint, but it grasps a certain thing that people understand, and to be able to touch that is not easy to do.
Well, Google doesn't make it such easy to find the information that you want to use to do with what you want to do. But if you're a curious person and you just kind of dive in with both feet, it's very user friendly once you get in and you start pushing buttons and reading everything and blah, 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 blah. But yeah, it's great. This is one of their best features is right here. I mean, video chat.
You don't have to read.
Video chat software has been around for a long time, but Google's the only one that did it as a platform with 9 people that could come in for free. I mean, Skype is doing it, has been doing it for a while, but they charge you. So it's like, you know, as soon as people find out more about this platform and this feature, they're going to be using it more. Like I was watching a commercial the other day for some kind of meeting thing, and it had the exact same things that this Hangout has, but it's charging, you know, of course it says 30 days free trial, blah, 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 blah. But anybody gets
You might be talking about GoToMeeting, but I don't necessarily think they have video yet. I didn't think they did. They do?
Yes, they do. They
Okay.
do have video. You can share docs, and you can share presentations, and you can collaborate on stuff.
You're all here free.
Yeah, exactly.
Cameo.
Dumbest thing I ever heard of. Let's do what Google's doing, but we'll charge for it. This is
No,
genius.
I don't think that everyone's going to just start using video hangouts or video. You know, Hangouts is the best video chat option that exists. But when it comes down to it, people don't want a video chat. I mean, I used to try to get people to video chat like back, you know, like pre-Skype, whenever they had even more, you know, rustic means of video chat. Like See You, See Me. Anyone remember that? That's like really old school. Like I used to try to get people to do that kind of stuff with me. Like they would have the cameras, you know, which was mostly for like, oh, I'm going to talk to grandmother type and grandma kind of thing. But nobody wants to video chat with people they don't know. Now there are those people, obviously, and that's
What
why.
are we doing right now?
Not nobody, because I've been doing it for about a year.
Right, but in general, you know, I hate to break it to you, Tim, but you're not normal.
I know. And actually, Matt and I were just saying that. Nobody that is spending that amount of time on the
Nobody's
computer
normal.
talking to strangers is a normal person.
I don't think anybody that's doing the Hangouts is normal, actually, you know. We're a little bit above that.
Stickcam has been around for until it just closed, like just recently. You could have up to 50 people in a room. Now, of course, you couldn't really have a conversation with 50 people, but it tended to be like one host and then like a couple other people that had cameras. But it was very, very popular. You know, I think 10 people is it's kind of the most you can really talk to. You can't really talk. I used to do Skype casts, which was at one point Skype had a thing where you could basically like 2 or 3 people could talk, and then you could have like hundreds of people listening. And I used to do that. I kind of had like a little podcast type thing going for a while. That was really interesting. But you can only really carry a conversation on with so many people at any given time. And, you know, 10's a good number. If you have a page, you can actually talk to 15 people in a room, which is a little chaotic.
I hadn't heard about that.
Well, only just because, you know, the social networking ideology is new to me. I've been on Google since June of 2011. And I had a Facebook page for about 5 years before that, but I really didn't do that much with Facebook. All I did was kind of keep an eye on my kids who also had Facebook pages. So, you know, being new at this, it's phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? What you were saying, for me, in my opinion, it's because of stuff like, what do they call that, chat roulette? Now, I don't know anything about chat roulette. I've just been told things by other people and the experiences they've had over there.
You don't need to know anything about chat roulette. You
Exactly.
don't want to know anything about chat roulette.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. I think a lot has to do with that aspect of it. People try chat roulette and they're thinking that all of this is like that, and it's not. You know what I'm saying? And going back to saying, you know, what I was about being new to this, it's like all of us here, we're not the norm. I mean, I was hearing numbers the other day. There's like 500 million users on Google+, but out of that 500 million users, only 400 people use the Hangout. So I've asked myself, why is that? You know, I think it has to deal with a lot of different reasons. First, people have webcams, but they have no desire to get in a video chat. You know, they're fine, you know, out on the stream doing whatever, getting to meet people that way. And then another reason, I think, is going back to what I said about chat roulette, you know, where people had bad experiences with it, and so they're a little leery because of that. You know, I hear all the time about women here on Google Plus talking about they don't want to get into a hangout because they've had bad experiences, you know. And it's all about getting around people that, you know, spark your interest and that you've got a feel for and that you trust not to do something stupid in one of these hangouts.
And if you you wrong Carolyn Curtis, you might get some peni around your face, you know what I'm saying? What? Tom Cozzarin Doc is here. Doc.
For us, we haven't done a lot of hangouts before because sometimes we have concerns about our dog, honestly, and our dog free. I mean, he's being really cool right now, but that is not typical. So sometimes it's hard for us to even know if we're going to be able to talk with people hearing us over our dog.
The woof woof. Yeah, I had that too with my dog, so I know what it's like. But your dog, they know it's hangout time. They gotta shut up.
Right.
Shut up. And so yeah, they do. For those of you that don't know, Carolyn and Scott are artists, and Cameo is here. Hello.
Nice kid.
Another artist. And
Hi,
Kid
Kid.
is Dark. And Thomas Duckett Perry Jr. Hey, what's up, Thomas?
Nice. Kit was one of the few people we knew previous to getting on Plus.
Kit looks like they're either in the dark or the video camera's not on.
I'm not sure if she has one or not.
Yeah.
I believe I followed Wenchkin on Twitter.
Maybe. Yeah, they were talking about how they kind of used Facebook and they had the whole ban thing because of the troll. And what is that the right word? Troll? The guy that was bothering you, or not really? That's the wrong definition.
I don't know that he was necessarily a troll in as much as just somebody that was trying to mess with me. I don't know if he's smart enough to really be a troll. I think he was just, you know,
Are trolls smart?
Some of them are. I mean,
best trolls are the
sometimes
ones that
you have to be
doubt that
fairly
they are a
creative
troll.
to keep that up, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, living under a bridge can be an art, or it can be a downfall.
Especially if there's troubled waters. You have to watch out. Oh, groom your beard? Seriously? Whatever. We love all beards. Robert's got the beard. Everyone's got a beard. Even Tom over there has got a little bit of a thing on his face. Oh, he's got a beard. That's enough, right? Okay.
It makes me look like I don't have a neck on the webcam. See, like it covers it up.
And you're wearing a Star Wars shirt too.
It matches directly into your shirt.
Shoot, I've been known to come in the hangouts in my PJs and my fluffy robe with flat slippers, you know?
PJs on?
That's the way to do it.
Flat PJs on? Nothing wrong with
Most
that.
people, I'm surprised we're all wearing pants. What?
Are we?
Do these pants?
We don't know. Well, I don't know. PJs are awesome, Kid. Kid, show us your beard. Most people say something else, but I like to see all the beards. So what does everyone have a busy week? Or weekend plan? Weekend plans or anything that anything
I'm going
going
to New
on?
York on Saturday.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm like totally not prepared. So I was thinking about driving down tomorrow, but there's no way I can get everything in order. So I'm gonna head down on Saturday. But I'm gonna stay there for a week. I got a buddy who's lives in D.C., but his company has him on a project in New York for like 3 months. He's got a swanky apartment in Manhattan, so I haven't been yet, and he's been begging me to go. So that'll be fun. Hoping to get together maybe with Matt and some other folks. Going to see Ryan Van Sickle play on Wednesday.
Oh, that's awesome.
That'll be fun. There's my portrait of Ryan.
Cool, cool. Are you doing the fireside chat with him?
It's a house show I'm not sure whose place it is. Someplace in Jersey. A Google Plus user, and then there's going to be a bunch of us getting together for dinner and the show.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's cool. Yep, it sure is.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a fun trip.
Well, Friday I start teaching hangouts at 7 p.m. with Samantha Barrett from Girl Power, where we're pulling in the women in the community because, like I said before, a lot of them have issues about getting in hangouts. So I'm going to be in there teaching on how they can get into their editing area on their profiles and set their stuff to private and that kind of thing, and teaching them that kind of stuff and how to get around Google+.
Cool. Sounds like fun.
Cool. I was gonna. Hey, Scott and Colin, if you have any like art you haven't shown us that's like you can just grab and you want to throw up there and we'll look at it. Give them him a job. We're like, no, run away. They're like, they just went to the bedroom. They're like, spicy what? Oh, yay.
Oh, so that's a sculpture of one of your little dudes. Very cool.
Butt shark. Butt shark's like it's my alter ego. He's little, but he's got full of force.
Now he causes the butt hurt, the butt shark,
Hey,
right?
so what is that made of? Is that clay or?
This is all steel fabrication.
Oh wow!
So it's several spheres, pipe caps, chunks of metal, pieces of sheet steel, all welded, ground down, and then painted.
That's amazing. I mean, it looks like it could be plastic. It could be a ceramic piece.
Right.
It's amazing.
That's kind of the beauty is like the actual tactile engagement of the objects is that you kind of don't know what it is until you touch it, and then you pick it up.
Cool.
And go, kind of cool, and it's kind of heavy, and that's not what I thought it was. So yeah, this is Butt Shark. He's pretty.
What does the other side look like? Nice.
Okay, so just one eye then, huh?
Cool.
Yeah, just they didn't start out as eyes, but they obviously are eyes. But they have single eyes. They have single focus. They are heading towards something that they don't quite know, and that's what the Idiocy is their travels towards something they don't know what it is, but they got to go towards it.
Oh man, that's so cool. I'm totally gonna get into your work after this.
Where your finger was, Scott? Is that like a place for it to like sit on something, like the bottom part, or?
It's just his feet.
His feet. Okay.
Put him down right there.
It's perfect for a desk, maybe for your desk.
Yeah.
Right?
Let me turn the camera down so you can see him sitting on the computer.
He's guarding the computer.
Yeah, I made an addition to these, and yeah, Kit Cameo has one of these. Maybe she can find hers and get her webcam to show it. But here's.
Yeah, because we every now and then will trade stuff with other artists, and so Kit has one of those, and this is one of the paintings that we have of hers. If you can.
Cool.
Oh, cool. That is dope.
Because we
Giving
had
you
to
the
have
finger.
It's like a thumb.
Yeah,
Like giving you, it's like
Toe.
camel toe. I know.
camel toe.
We had to have it.
It's camel toe, or it's a camel
That makes
giving,
more sense.
or it's a camel giving you the finger. Either one. Either way.
That's awesome. That's hilarious.
So yeah, because we actually have a hallway full of other people's stuff that we still need to finish buying frames for and adding to, and it's just become the whole hallway of other people's art. It's kind of
That's
fun.
awesome.
That's awesome. Show and tell. I love it.
But
More.
okay, so this is like some of the wax stuff that I've been.
Interesting.
Cool.
That was all wax.
This is all like melted crayon, yeah.
The crayon.
And
Yeah.
some of it I melt, and then like these last two I drew on top of with a Sharpie in addition to. But since then I've kind of stopped doing that and trying to just use just the crayon, just because I don't like. I'm weird about. I would rather write in caustic than mixed media, which is. Whatever. But yeah, this is just something that for fun I started lately. I mean, it's
That's
interesting
cool.
that I took melting a rainbow of crayons into. I've done over 100 of these since the beginning of the year. I mean, I've been melting crayons like
Oh my
mad.
god, that's mind-boggling how prolific you guys are. 100 pieces since the beginning of the year. Oh.
I mean,
Well,
it's
she's just
actually-
doing it.
It takes me forever to do
Late
anything.
February, and like
That's terrible.
Well, so I
this
think
is my 365 project.
That's
awesome.
awesome.
Right, I mean, we have piles and piles of, I can't believe sometimes how fast that, but I mean, I get in there and I get in my little, headspace about it, and I'll sit there and I'll do, sometimes when I'm in there melting crayons, I'll probably work on 5 or 6 different pieces at a time, so it's not like, I don't really necessarily feel that prolific, because I probably won't finish all 6 of those that day.
And so with your art, though, I mean, you you do so much art. Do you just do it and you don't really necessarily have time to think about how amazing or how not amazing it is, right? Or do you ever how hard of a critic are you on yourself? Because we talking
every now and then you do something and you look at it and you go, yeah, I made that. You know. But, I mean, for the most part, I'm generally pretty happy with what I do, but you do have those moments where you make something and you're like, wow, that's actually particularly good. You know, I think everybody has those moments no matter what you do.
Yeah.
You know, but if I had that all the time, every day, I would probably think I had an ego issue.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, I have a design I just recently finished. This is a tattoo for a friend.
Sweet. I didn't even know you did that, Tom.
The final composition was done on the computer, so let me see about screen sharing it.
Screen share. Yeah, anyone that has stuff to share, feel free.
Yeah, so I'll be right back.
You can share more. We can share till the sun comes up.
We can share forever. But, yeah, I don't know. I mean, for me, I'm one of those crazy people that I have a harder time breaking away from making art to do things like make dinner and do laundry. You know, I would rather be. I mean, if you left me to my own devices when Scott's out of town, I will get up, make coffee, go straight out to the studio, and be there until I realize I'm hungry. And you know, I don't really. If I'm left alone, I can just create for days and days and days and days and not have to stop and deal with life. I'm kind of bad like that. If I didn't have Scott to like have to make dinner and do other things, I don't know. I'd probably be up for 4 days and sleeping for 2, and you know, be covered in crayon.
Is that coming through clear at all?
Yeah, that's nice. Look at that flower. Okay, sweet.
Yeah.
How long did that take you to make?
It was over the course of a couple of weeks.
Political statement!
My mother is actually much better at shading, so she did a lot of the colored pencil work on it.
That's cool.
Nice.
Yeah, we worked on it together, so it was over a course of whenever we had time to work together on it. It was just it was a tattoo design for a friend representing her grandparents and her mother, so.
Nice.
I see it as a construction company to tear down a forest to build like a condo. So that's what I saw. Was my take on it.
Well, that's what the request was those elements. So.
Cool.
Yeah.
What else you got?
I can't wait to see the final interpretation from the tattoo artist.
Oh yeah, you missed. Carolyn has a huge tattoo on her back, which if you watch the beating part, that was really.
I did not get to see that.
Yeah,
that's a pretty amazing tattoo. Hey, so we started to talk about that. You were talking about the 2 guards.
Right.
At the top of the tattue. Can you tell me?
Did you just upgrade to a better beer?
Oh, yeah, I did.
How dare you! It's not that much better.
Here's the thing. Somebody brought over the 6er of Coors, and it wasn't actually in the fridge, but my kitchen is freezing cold, so it was just sitting there. So it was pretty cold, but the Sam Adams was actually in the fridge. So sorry.
Cool.
I would send it through the Google Tap if I could.
Ah, the Google Tap.
What's up? Hey, Greer. Hey, Thomas. What's up, you guys? And thanks for coming. We're just chilling, hanging out, artists and each others, and we're all artists in this world.
Okay, sorry. I went to go try to find something that, of course, I can't find because I'm looking.
Can't find it? Oh,
no.
Man.
But no, Tim was asking about my tattoo and.
Just like what the whole meaning of the whole thing is. What's going on there? We started to get into it, but...
Start at the beginning. It's basically a representation of myself and my life and symbols of things that every time I'd had some kind of significant action in my life, I would get a tattoo to remember it by, but it's basically for me. So I don't usually show my tattoos to a lot of people because it looks like a bunch of jumbled stuff, because it is.
Okay.
But, I mean, it basically started out as... Okay, this is a bad joke. All right, I'm obviously an ex-Mormon, so
obviously
when when I was being raised as a Mormon, they give you the whole your body is your temple thing, and you're not supposed to do anything bad to it, and so.
Do you wear the underwear? That's only men.
No, because I'm not a Mormon anymore. But
I'm saying then, not now. I'm talking about like what Because the whole underwear thing.
I don't know what the underwear thing is. Let her finish her story. Come on, man.
No, but so as a joke, I kind of started the whole thing where I was like, well, if my body's my temple, I'm gonna decorate it however I see fit. And so I kind of started with imagery that I thought would belong kind of in the inside of a building. So I wanted some just weird, bizarre columns, spikes. I wanted the guards in there are just on the outside of it because they're there to watch over and protect me. I've got a guy in there watching my back. I've just got a lot of weird, random symbols in there.
A guy.
Some Celtic knots, some skulls, some you name it. Whatever.
Now, do you feel like the man or the religion or whatever? Do you think all those people saying you can't do that really made you like if that wasn't there, would you have still done it? You think? You have no idea, I guess. Really. Like, was that your influence? Because people were saying you can't do this. No, that's like. I mean, your parents, do they care? Do they?
I bought my mom her first tattoo. So.
Right on, right on.
So, I mean, she was so impressed.
Yes, they're my kind of Mormons.
And my mom's not a Mormon anymore either.
Nope.
It's kind of funny. We kind of, my dad is, and no, my dad doesn't actually know. But
well, the first thing you said that I'm like, how could she be a Mormon? You're like, you love coffee. I'm like, that's against the rules. What?
Oh, yeah, but I mean, I left that as soon as I could. You know, it's one thing to be raised like that, and then as soon as you move out, you're like, woo, I'm done.
Coffee. How old were you when you drank your first cup of coffee?
Actually, my mom's mother is not a Mormon, and she was pissed off that my mom married a Mormon. So my grandmother would subvertly, she would like do things to piss off my parents. So my grandmother was feeding me coffee early on.
That explains your artistic creations. You've been hyped up on coffee since you're like 4.
Yeah, she was like, "Oh, you'll love it. No, we'll just put in some more sugar. It'll be fine."
It's the devil juice. That's awesome. Oh my god. Oh man. So I don't know. Anyone else have any funny stories like that about like their religion or their upbringing and that you rebelled against it, or?
My parents are very strict Catholics. I mean, well, not strict. That's not. I mean, they go to church every Sunday. They go to all the freaking holy days. I'll tell you one funny story. I was at my buddy's. This is in high school. I was probably 15 or 16 or something. We're playing basketball on a Tuesday, and my parents just roll up out of nowhere. They're like, "All right, we gotta go to a church. Come on, Tim." I'm like, "Really? What, a Tuesday?" He's like, "Yeah, it's Holy Tuesday. It's a holiday or, sacrament. I don't know what the hell it was." And so as I'm walking to the car, I'm just shaking my head. I go, "Holy fucking Tuesday." And my buddies, all the guys that were playing ball with me, were just dying, and they bring that up every time we start talking about this. They just, "Holy fucking Tuesday."
Went to a Mormon wedding once. That was interesting.
Yeah. I guess they didn't serve coffee. That sucked.
Yeah, they didn't even have table salt. That was like the worst part.
Wait, so is that against the rules? We're gonna be banned from all the Mormon communities on Google Plus.
Like, it was funny. Like my friend who was technically Mormon literally broke almost like every major Mormon rule on a daily basis. But his entire family was Mormon, and they're basically who planned the wedding. So, it was interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of. How many rules are there? I mean,
I knew him from my Dungeons and Dragons group, so.
Oh no, but Carolyn, how many are there a crazy amount of rules to certain with what you can't have or do?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's God, I'm so far removed from it now, but I remember. I mean, there's no caffeine, no
salt.
Fine.
No, I mean, as far as I remember having salt, but
sugar.
Sugar, yeah. I mean,
I'll put it this way: it's easier to be Amish than Mormon.
Wow. That's no, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
You're allowed to watch TV as a Mormon, right?
Yeah, but
you can watch TV as an Amish person.
Watch my dad actually had. Okay, this is kind of stupid too. My dad had a VHS and a Betamax because we had the Betamax, player back then, and my dad would pre-rent movies for us and then remove the sex scenes before he showed them to us.
What? What did he use to remove the sex scenes?
The first time I saw Top Gun, it was edited by my parents. So.
Did they take out the volleyball scene?
There's actually a movie about that.
I don't remember.
Clean
You know what?
Sweep.
Yeah, Clean.
Clean Sweep.
No, that's not what it was
Did they
called.
change the title from Top Gun to
I see it on Netflix all the time.
two
right?
guys in a plate?
Well, like,
Clean Flicks. Yeah, we.
Yeah, Clean Flicks. That's it.
But yeah, I mean, so I didn't really. I basically, when I was growing up, watched a lot of Disney.
Oh yeah, because there's no hidden messages in their films.
Right. Well, that my parents were aware of anyway. You know, whatever. That's okay.
Did you ever point out to your parents all like the sex things in the Disney movies just to freak them out, or like
Well,
when you were
no, because I didn't know any better.
No, I
back
mean
then.
now, like they.
Naive. No, I wouldn't do that. Are you kidding? I don't even like. I would not sit next to my dad and watch a movie.
Yeah,
Just send them the link on the internet.
Pretty damned awkward for me because my parents
Yeah,
really
I mean,
love movies. I've watched some awkward movies with my parents, or actually, I've left the house when they've. I left the house one time when they threw in Chasing Amy. I was like,
Yeah.
oh my god, I don't want to be here.
You know, my
I
parents
don't
have
know
been
that.
divorced
I
since
watched
I was
Clerks with my
13.
parents when I was super young.
It's just a movie, whatever.
Yeah, but Chasing Amy has so much, sexual, just open sexual talk, and I can't imagine what their reactions were to some of it. I mean, it's like, oh god.
No, my mom, I purposely wanted to warp my mom with a film once, and I hate to have to say that, but I did it on purpose because I do that sometimes. But my mom used to be that person that used to take the Dexatrim when it had the speed in it, and she was always she was one of those people that took a lot of diet pills, and it concerned me. So I sat her down one day and I made her watch Requiem for a Dream.
Oh, okay.
Now, that was really uncomfortable for me to watch with my mother,
Yeah.
but I did it, and you know what? She quit taking diet pills, so I'm okay with it.
I would think watching Van Wilder or some kind of sex real out there, that might be a little weird, but those movies, I mean, where it makes sense in the movie, it's not as it's like watching a porno with your
mom
parents.
and watch some
right?
double dildo scene or something.
Right, a double dildo
not-
scene I get, but just a random nude or I don't know.
Right.
I
Depends
guess I'm
on.
pretty open with my parents. I would have no problem watching a double dildo scene with my parents.
Wow.
In the slightest. Actually, just
Oh
the other
my
day, I
God.
was joking about a job
With your pants
application,
off.
psychological exam for a job application. And one of the questions was, "Are your parents? Would you say, or do you think your parents are proud of you?" And I screamed at my mom. I was like, "Mom!" Or I was talking to my friends. I'm like, "What the hell are they asking? Are they proud of?" I was like, "Mom." She's like, "What?" I was like, "Are you proud of all the orgasms I've had?" She's like, "How many orgasms have you had?" I said, "A lot." She's like, "I guess so." I was like, "All right, my parents are proud of me."
I'm glad, and we learned about 5 things about you in that sentence.
Yeah.
I mean, my mom is actually really cool. She likes horror movies. But she has her line of what she doesn't like. She doesn't like any of the saws or anything seriously graphic, gory, but she's pretty open. I obviously watched that film with her, my mom's actually pretty cool. I have a decent relationship with her. She's nonplussed, just not very often.
I generally can't feel empathy for characters in horror movies because they're mostly in stupid situations, and the only other thing in horror movies is surprise, and I can't stand surprise in movies. I don't watch a movie because I need a partial heart attack, So since I can't feel empathy for the characters, the horror movie genre, unless Army of Darkness, I can do. Shaun of the Dead, I can do. Those are acting on additional levels.
Right.
But the strict horror film, I can't get into them. I can't get into straight zombie films either. It has to have another level, like comedy or something,
Right.
Well, most horror is done through suspense anyway, and I don't consider that to be horror. I hate mislabeled movies. That's a suspense movie, not a horror movie. Suspense
Right.
is a cheap tactic.
Wow.
About the only movie that was actually horrific that I've seen.
All right, so you would rather watch just wall-to-wall gore than something that...
I'm not saying that I would want to watch that. What I'm saying is that I don't think that suspense movies should be labeled as horror movies. It's a suspense movie. Look, if you show a bunny slowly hopping around a cupcake with some light, elevator music playing, and then all of a sudden you change the screen to something else and have a loud noise play, you're gonna jump. It doesn't matter. That's suspense. You're not expecting it, or you've built to the point where you know it's coming, but you don't know when it's going to happen. That is suspense.
That's a random non sequitur.
That is all that suspense is a surprise.
That's your average Family Guy episode.
Yeah, it's all genres are all mixed up. So I don't know. I don't like labels. So
the one thing that they do in horror movies, or at least in some anyway, that does somewhat work on me is creepiness. Like House of 1,000 Corpses has a lot of moments that are just like so warped that like that works on a certain level.
Right, and that's what I mean. I like some pretty creepy, weird movies, and I'm less impressed with what I would consider.
Weird movies I like.
but yeah, if you can disturb me on some level, that's a little bit more entertaining. If you can,
I will watch Killer Clowns from Outer Space just for the absurdity.
Well, yeah, but I mean, absurd and fun is.
It's the second time that movie's come up in 3 hours.
Yeah.
Awesome.
A lot of people moving around. It's like they came into the Hangout on Air. They're just like walking around. It's cool. It's awesome. No, the other guy did it too, and now they're just like on break. I'm like, that's fine. It's just chill. It's chill.
There's a really old, I use the term horror movie very loosely, from the 80s called Student Bodies, which may have been the first horror movie parody. Yeah, if you've never seen it, it's a terrible movie and you have to watch it.
That was a winning endorsement.
It's not that terrible. I mean, it's not like Netflix terrible.
Wait, what? Let's do this. What is the worst movie that? What is the worst movie? What is what?
It's not Sharknado.
The worst movie ever made is Freddy Got Fingered.
No.
That's pretty bad, but
it's not the
worst horror movie ever made is House of Dead.
We did a whole thing on horror movies.
The video game. The video game
movie.
Oh man, was that terrible.
Hey, Sean.
See, I knew better than to watch that.
That's the worst horror
to
movie
me,
ever.
the worst movie ever made is Leonard Part 6. I'm sorry.
That's a pretty bad movie.
That'll always be the worst one.
Bad movie.
That and the sequel to Addams Family was really bad. I didn't like that either. Addams Family Values.
I don't know. Values was all right. I mean, had most of the original cast.
That doesn't mean it was good. They didn't
seen a lot of bad movies. All of these I've never seen. When there are so many movies out there, why would you choose to see a movie that is bad? I mean,
well, you don't always know. You can guess, but
it depends. On Netflix, there's one called Pool Boy 2: Drowning Out the Fury with Evan Turbo.
Awesome.
It's beyond awesome. It is very, very bad, very B-rate, but it's well worth it in my opinion.
I actually have a Pinterest board called Terribly Awesome Films that are movies that are so bad that they flip the scale and come back on the good side. My go-to movie for that is The Last Dragon, which was produced by Motown. The entire dialogue in the entire movie is just terrible. Earth Girls Are Easy, which is a great movie from the 80s.
That's also bad.
I like Human Tornado, one of the old Dolomite ones, just because.
Dolomite, okay. I love blaxploitation.
Earth Girls Are Easy. I have seen that one. It took me a minute to remember that. Jeff Goldblum. And
yeah.
Jim Carrey.
Great movie. I watched that movie at least once.
Damon Wayans, Jim Carrey.
Yeah, Damon Wayans. I believe Damon Wayans is a character named Devo.
Oh man, I thought I was like jamming up a couple of movies there, but maybe
something you guys need to check out. Documentary on The Shining called Room 237.
I've heard of that.
Really good documentary.
It's on Netflix streaming right now?
I don't know if it's on Netflix.
I don't think it's on Netflix
yet.
yet.
Mentioned that recently.
That one, yeah.
New to video or something.
But to me, what makes a movie really bad, it's one thing if the movie is bad. You're like, oh, that's a bad movie. That's just bad. But when the movie's supposed to kind of be good, and then it sucks, that is a bad movie. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you go see, Bill Cosby doesn't do a lot of movies. You're like, oh, he's in a movie. Things like that. He does Ghost Dab is pretty bad. So, when you have that expectation of a movie being good.
To be fair,
Wait.
Bill
Name
Cosby movie?
Name another movie that Bill Cosby was in other than Ghost Dad.
Letter Part 6.
Any movies, period.
Meteor Man.
Letter Part 6.
Meteor Man is on my terribly awesome
Is
movie.
seeing that? But that's my point. Like, when there's high expectations for a movie,
Directed by Robert Townsend.
and it sucks. I mean, I think Inception's a great movie, but I think it was overhyped. You know?
Well, sure, it's Christopher Nolan, and he was coming off of Dark Knight, which
Yeah.
was the biggest movie ever. You know, and Memento and some of his other stuff was really
I
phenomenal.
hated Dark Knight Rises.
It's very, very difficult to live up to all that. You hated Dark Knight, really?
Well, I
No,
hated Dark Knight Rises. Dark Knight.
Oh, the new one, really? I kind of like that one. I actually think I might have liked that one more than.
Yeah, I thought Bane was non-threatening,
Okay, I could see that a little bit.
and Batman didn't know how to it's like he forgot how to fight whenever he's fighting Bane. Like, you know, in the first movie, he's fighting against like these nameless thugs, and he's like flipping around doing all this martial arts and stuff, and then. You know, the Bane fight might as well have had Bane holding Batman back like this while he like swung his fist. It's like seriously bad choreography. It's like Batman forgot that he was a master assassin.
Well, no,
Everyone has a bad
They were
day.
both master assassins, so they decided to
Right.
not use their.
You know, I'm
skills.
going to make a cut of a Dark Knight, and every time Batman fights with Bane, I'm going to switch to the fight from They Live that's like 30 minutes long.
That'll
Put
work.
on my glasses! Yeah.
Something that got me about Bane in Rises was just the mask was a little overdone. It looked like everything was voiceover because it didn't even look like the character was talking.
All right. Whenever I went and saw the movie, in the first scene in the airplane, when Bane first talked, everyone in the theater giggled. All right, that tells you how threatening his voice is. I mean, he sounds like an antiques dealer. He doesn't sound like a master assassin. That's
Yes,
like,
I'm calling about the puppies. Are there any more to adopt?
and isn't Bane,
Wow.
isn't Bane from like a tropical / Spanish island? Like, why does he have like this Scottish accent? He sounds like Sean Connery.
The funny thing is, everybody was doing Bale. Everyone was doing, you know, Bale's Batman forever, and then all of a sudden they did a little Ledger. But then, as soon as Bane came out, it was like no one was doing those voices because they were doing Bane every 5 seconds.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I hate the Bat growl, but I got over the Bat growl because everything else was good.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
but now I have to focus on how terrible the Bat growl is because everything else about Dark Knight Rises is bad. The pacing is bad. The cuts. The editing is terrible.
I think you're just harsh. You're doing.
I am harsh because the first two were great.
I don't know. Everyone has their own opinion. Some people do the opposite. They're like, oh, the third one's amazing, the first one and the second one aren't, or the first one's not as good, or I don't know. Some people say the first one's the best one. I mean, everyone changes their mind.
And also, I didn't like the needless fan service in the third movie either. That was like the final straw. You know, it's like, oh, why don't you use your full name? And then they're like, Robin, and I'm like, no. One, the character's name is not Robin. That's a nickname. So no, that's not his full name. And that pissed me off on such a level that it just accelerated everything else. It's like you can't even do fan service right, Nolan. You know, if you wanted to do that, you could have said, "Why don't you use your full name, Dick?" And it's like, "Oh, okay." I see.
I don't know. Aren't we getting a little? I mean, come on. I mean, it's not. You know, Dark Knight Rises. No matter, even if you didn't like it, it's still better than so many movies.
And the worst part is, whenever that part happened, there was people whispering to each other.
Oh, no beard. Oh, come on. They kiss without the beard. Oh man, I missed it.
So the other day we had watched a movie on Netflix called Chopper, who is starring the guy that plays Bane. But what I thought was more interesting is he's going to play Mad Max in the new Mad Max. Did you see this?
Oh, really? I didn't know they were redoing that. Everything old comes back. I kind of don't like that.
I
Why
kind
are
of
we
don't like
doing
that
all
either.
of this old great shit and making it worse. You know,
Right.
They never remake it, and people are like, "Oh my god, that was so much better than the original."
They should remake bad movies. You know, wouldn't that be a good idea?
Yes, they should, but they don't.
Well, only if they're not bad. Only if they make them good. I mean,
right. If
Well,
they took
Wanda had
old
mentioned
shitty
up here
movies,
somewhere, I
if they
spit
took
on your
Leonard Part
grave. And
6 and made it amazing. Leonard
Yeah.
Part 7 and it's amazing. How crazy would that be?
I Spit on Your Grave. What were you gonna say? That was a bad movie?
Well, I mean, that's been recently remade, and honestly, I mean, I thought it was a pretty interesting movie, if not hokey by today's standards, but I mean, I didn't think, some people think it's a bad movie, some people think it's good. I didn't think it needed to be remade at all.
I didn't think it needed to be remade at all neither, and I think the older version is a lot better than the remade, even though I haven't seen the remake.
About?
I Spit on Your Grave. On Your Grave.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, recently they rebooted Army of Darkness or Evil Dead or something like that. I can't remember. And the trailer makes it look like a horror exploitation film. It doesn't look like Army of Darkness in any capacity whatsoever. It looks like they took the storyboard, right, and then removed all the dialogue and just made a generic horror film based off of the storyboard. Can't talk today.
What movie would, I mean, maybe it's already happened, but what movie either was remade or if they do remake it, would you just like quit? Would you just scream and be like, I mean, like a Back to the Future, or like what movie you'd be like, oh my god?
Yeah, no, if they remade Back to the Future, I'm pretty sure that people would burn down Hollywood. I don't think that would actually
happen.
Oh,
what?
How do you know?
The one that worries me is Fiddler on the Roof, the musical.
Oh, that's right.
Like, I don't think that could be made any better than what it is right now.
Why would they remake that? I don't know why. That one.
Because right now, like, Les Mis made $1 billion, and before that, every other musical film has made $1 billion. It's only a matter of time before every musical.
But Les Mis was never a musical.
We'll probably get a version of The Music Man starring Steve Carell in 3 years. That might actually be okay, but I still don't know.
There you go. That might actually be good. Remaking Willy Wonka. Willy Wonka was a bad idea. So
yes, it was a bad idea. You can't improve upon Gene Wilder's portrayal.
Remaking Willy Wonka was not a bad idea.
What?
It was boring.
Willy Wonka. That was a completely different film. If they had actually tried to remake it to the T.
No, well, not to.
No one remakes
movies to a T. Making it the same.
Unnecessary.
That's
then it's unnecessary.
No, it's still a remake.
I like this. I mean, if they're gonna do it, I like that Tim Burton took it in a totally different direction. But
yeah,
it was bad.
You know, I gotta say, this is the first time where I actually wish the studio had gotten its wishes. The studio originally wanted to cast Will Smith as Willy Wonka, which is really stupid. Which is really, really stupid, but I really hated Depp's portrayal of Willy Wonka.
He was kind of scary.
Like, there's a quote recently.
You guys do know that Nicolas Cage was up for the role, too.
That would have been better, too. That
would have been better in a bad way. In a comedic way.
Like, Gene Wilder, whenever he took the role, he said that he would only take it if, at the beginning of the movie, you know, where he does the thing where he's like walking with a cane, he's all fragile. You saw the quote too, right?
Oh, yeah, and then he rolls over and pops up, right.
Yeah, so that way they will never know if he's telling the truth. And I'm like, that is what set that character.
Wait, what am I missing? Never know that he was telling that he was lying to them?
When at the very beginning, when the kids go to the factory tour, Wonka comes out on a cane and is wobbling all the way up until the fence, and then he does a somersault and rolls and springs up and lets him in.
Oh, I know what you're saying. To show
remember that
foreshadow. Scene? Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about. Okay. And I remember Depp did try to do something weird where he just popped up out of nowhere next to him. And that was kind of weird.
I don't know if I've ever actually seen the full movie.
I was disappointed. I thought it would be good. I thought because Depp's a great actor, but...
Actually, you know what's better than the modern remake of Willy Wonka? It's a lot darker, but has anyone seen The Candy Shop? It's there's a movie studio called I think it's called Whitestone Pictures, and they did a short called The Candy Shop. Really, really good. Whitestone Motion Pictures.
Awesome.
I recommend that everybody watch it in their free time or whatever.
Any more showing? Do you have any more art around you, Carolyn? You want to throw up? Hanging around?
Not immediately.
All right. It's like, make me do work. See, you do get exercise, not just sit at the computer. Get up.
I know.
Look for stuff.
Look for stuff.
Look for stuff. Your Conversations Plus, we're just hanging out.
See, I did a portrait of Carolyn a while back.
Nice.
You guys seen that?
You sent that to her too?
I sent her the file. I didn't send her the original. This is the original still. Well, I've got a show starting to come together. Look at that! G Plus Pony! That's awesome.
What?
What? Are you kidding me?
Look at this. Pony Mod.
Wait, I need Carolyn in the picture.
My
right?
pony. Hey, Carol, if you see the relevancy in that movie Spit on Your Grave, here's another great one called The Women's Club.
Got it. Scott's like, my hand is tired. I want a beer in my hand. Oh, what is that? S&M.
Wendy O. Williams.
Hello.
Did you make those?
Yes.
Okay.
How long does one of those take?
There's someone else on Google Plus who customizes ponies. She
Yeah,
does
Crystal McBride.
Yeah, Crystal does a lot of really cool things with her.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
talked to her a couple
I'm not
times.
into the modern pony thing, you know. Like, I don't really. I see it and I'm like, that's cool, but you know, it's not for me personally. But you know, I still admire, you know, good art and good fandom, regardless of where it is.
Yeah, it started as a joke for me. Somebody asked me to paint one for them, so I did, and then they gave me a bunch more. And then the gallery I used to be with, they actually sold fairly regularly out of there, and they would ask me for specific ones. So it's not that I ever intended to do ponies, and I haven't done any in a while unless somebody specifically wants one, because there are people out there like Crystal that actually do them better anyway, so...
Carol, can I get you to put that up there again in the screen so I can see it, because I missed it earlier.
Which one?
Okay.
No, I love subscribing to artists on social media so you can see all the different things.
That's like plus ass. Nice. My little pony. Actually, that pony with G plus blonde hair. I'm just kidding. Whoa. It's not some muddled after you, is it?
Huh?
No, I was kidding. I was kidding. So how did the pony? Did you decide to just put the G plus on there? Like what? Just.
I don't know.
Just
I mean, I had a spare one. Why not?
It's got the older logo, right?
Yeah, because I did it along. Yeah, I mean, at least a year ago. It seems like
That
now.
was almost beta. I mean, it was
Right.
early.
It's my beta pony.
My beta pony. My beta pony.
But that is cute. It really is for Google icons. It is.
Yeah, then you know, every now and then it was just for fun. Why not?
Yep.
Why
exactly.
the heck not? Why the heck not? Cool. All right, it's been. You guys want to wrap up? We talk more. I don't care. What? Oh, Tim's showing us stuff. Tim.
Oh, I just thought.
Why didn't you tell me you were going to share?
Kit was looking at some of my stuff there, so I thought I'd just pull it up.
Catherine.
This
Wow.
is my 6-inch portrait series. 6-inch
I like the
squares.
pause. Thank you.
These lots of Google people and Flickr people. There's Renata Sherwin, and that's a Flickr person. This is Maria Stepanov. She's a Google person. Sarah Ty and her frog friend. There's Carolyn.
Nice.
Yay.
Back when you were going by Lois Carmen Denominator.
That's
which is
awesome.
That's a
That's a
name. I
great
loved that name.
Yeah. Well, I had to give it up, you know.
I know. Like, man, that name kills.
So is the name more for fun, or was it more to cover the identity?
You know,
Both?
that's a good. Up until Google made me, I had never really outed my real name on the internet, so it was kind of one of those. It's not that I have ever tried to hide who I was, because I've always signed my art as Wenchkin. I've been Wenchkin for years and years and years and years. But when I started Google, it wouldn't let me use a single name, so therefore I had to pull something else out of my butt. So it's basically I don't know, you know,
You
because
pull
now
good stuff out of your butt.
I don't know. I mean, at the time when I first started social networking, it seemed appropriate to have a fake name, and it didn't seem like a big deal, you know. But now that I'm older and I'm trying to actually let people be aware of my artwork, it doesn't make sense for me to use a bunch of fake names anymore anyway. I mean, I would have rather just used the Wenchkin, but that wasn't I mean, that wasn't in the cards with Google at the beginning, which is why I made the art page, which now I'm not using as much, which is kind of sad because I'm just not.
I see an art project in which you make something that shows your name changing until you get to your real name from like with different art creations. I foresee that in the future.
Because he's not here, this is my avatar photo that was done by Mike Searle.
Oh, I love Mike's work.
Yeah, and another Google Plus artist. He does really great things.
He's in Snowmageddon right now.
He's in Kansas City.
In Kansas City. Everything's up to date
And
there.
it's cold and snowy there.
But they have Google Fiber, so...
Yeah, I actually invited Mike into this, but he's playing Cards Against Humanity with his coworkers or something tonight.
Oh, all right.
Against humanity.
Is that a Hangout game?
Yes. Yes, it's a Hangout.
Is it good?
I think there is a Hangout version. I haven't played it yet, but it sounds like an amazing game. So speaking of Mike, this is a piece that Mike and I did together.
Nice.
He did the drawing, obviously, and I just added the watercolor on top. This is Nina Mars. She's a Venezuelan rock star who's she done some Google Plus stuff. She did a few Hangout concerts. Very cool punk sound. Good stuff.
You know, Kid, I've seen your heard your name around and everything, but I'm actually have you circled and everything, but I've never actually checked out your about section before. In your bragging rights, it says Charlie Sheen once swore at one of my paintings. I need to hear that story.
Is that real?
That's flipping awesome.
We've seen him do stuff like that. Kit does Kit, do you have audio or only? I know you don't have camera, but no audio, no microphone.
I have the video.
Tell us a story. Oh, you have the video. A video of it? Sweet. I think I remember him doing that. It's cool. Hey, Brian. Brian's at the Art Institute in Pittsburgh.
He did film himself. Charlie Sheen is probably one of the
Oh, we can. Oh, hey, Kit.
most
Yeah.
alive.
The voice of Kit Cameo. Hey, Kit.
Okay, so he did film himself going around the gallery because it was at Pine Gallery in Burbank. We did an art show called Winning, and it was based on the craziness that was Charlie Sheen at the time. It was back in whenever he had his breakdown, and he found out about it. I guess through the grapevine, but one of his goddesses, his goddesses, she found out about it. She told him about it. And he called up the gallery and he said, I would like to come and see this show because I'm honored that you guys would make artwork based on me. And yeah. So,
that's cool.
So the curator, Bill, he decided to set it up early for him, and because it was actually starting the very same day that Charlie Sheen's show was starting when he was going around the country doing Torpedoes of Truth. And so Bill set up the show early, and Charlie Sheen came in on the Friday before the show was supposed to be starting, and he brought a film crew, and he went around to every single artist's painting, and he said something about every one, but it was like, in Charlie Sheen style. So mine was I have these characters called All-Seeing Eye Dogs, and so for him, because he's got tiger blood, I did I did All-Seeing Eye of the Tiger. Awesome. And he went up to it and he was like, All-Seeing Eye of the Tiger by Kit Cameo, or Mono Tiger Eye Fucker. So,
was he totally sober and just himself, or was he definitely under the influence of something?
No, he was totally
Did you
sober.
just say totally tober?
Yeah.
I think somebody else is maybe not totally sober.
No, I said that it's a running joke. All right.
It was funny though, because he swore at every painting, but like he was thrilled. So like that weekend, his show bombed, his own show bombed. But the next Monday, he called up Bill, and he's like, "So, what did the artists think? Did they like the video? I hope none of them were offended."
Oh, wow. Now, do you think like his show, it seemed like he was really trying to do this thing and be successful. Do you think it was just one big troll on all of us and like, I'm just going to do what I want and people are going to like like a media thing, or do you think he was really being serious?
I think it started out like seriously him having a breakdown and him being that person, but then him being the showman that he is, I mean, he picked up and rolled with it basically.
Oh yeah, I mean, he made the most out of that. Yeah, it's a little hard to tell if it was all choreographed or if it was, you know. But you look at Joaquin Phoenix. I mean, it's sort of the same thing.
Well, I think Gary Busey is a great example. Gary Busey is crazy. However, Gary Busey pretends to be crazier than he is.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, that's how he gets fucking work.
Yeah.
You know. If you're just a mediocre actor, it's not going to get you too far. But if you're a crazy person, you can get on TV.
Speaking of crazy, Darth Vader has joined us. Hello. You do the voice. Do the voice.
I can't do the voice.
Aww.
Kind of how like
Luke, I am your mother.
Like
oh my God, that's amazing. I didn't know what we were talking about for a minute.
Oh, sorry.
I wasn't on the
Look at Carolyn.
right camera.
I mean, Vader.
Oh, that is cool.
Is it which is hotter, the beard or the Darth Vader?
Or the Vader, the Vader.
No, I don't. The Vader is hotter. Whoa.
It's funny. The day I painted it, I was so excited. I took all these pictures and I upload them, and it only really takes one person to kind of kick you, you know. And this guy comes in and he goes, "Flowers don't belong on Vader. I can't believe you did that. That's terrible." And I'm like, "Well, too bad. It's mine."
Right. Exactly. Who are you, man?
I don't care. Go paint your own helmet.
Exactly. It's amazing how people are scared of change.
Yeah.
That was so cool, and I was so slow. Can you do that again? I want to get a picture of this. I want a screenshot of that.
Show us your head.
My head.
What is? Wait. Oh, there's 2 parts. Oh, I didn't know.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wait. Take it. Keep it off. Let's see it without it. That's cool. Nice.
That would be a great hockey mask.
Well, because I
Hey,
actually
Brett.
had 2 domes and I dented the first one, and you can't have that. You know, I don't want to be like a half-ass Vader with a dent in my dome.
Yeah, because Vader was never half-assed. What? Nice.
You know what it needs? It needs one of those German spikes on the top.
Oh no. Hi, Vader.
Then you can get on your motorbike.
I just
Got
hit
it.
on the door
But the
every
motorbike
time.
that
Thank
flies.
you.
Yeah. It's on crooked. You look like Special Vader. Like Chad Vader, maybe.
I'm Chad.
I work at the employment markets.
You know, Scott, whenever you were showing some of your mental work earlier, it made me think that I had this friend whose dad worked at a Great Dane trailers. They make semi-trailers. Like almost every trailer you see behind a truck is made by Great Dane. And he made his son a lightsaber out of carbon steel, and I think the thing weighs like 47 pounds. But it looks like Luke's lightsaber from the movies. It's so amazing.
I built Carolyn this.
Uh-oh. Whoa.
My Valentine's present.
Oh, my God. Is that a...
Big giant.
Wait, no. Carolyn, you got to get in there, too. This is too cute.
You'll be in my heart,
That
I
is
guess.
awesome.
Jeez, that's huge. What do you mean I don't have enough heart? I'm all heart, mother. What is it, like Jerry Maguire? I'm all heart. Wow.
Yeah, that was great. He comes out of the studio on Valentine's Day. He's like, "Here, I made you this." And I'm
And
like,
there's the dog, too. Breathe like a dog.
So is that metal, too?
No, it's plush.
Oh,
It's
okay.
pillow, right?
It's like,
It's
oh my
pillow.
God, is that a giant... I don't know.
What are the chances he also has a heart on his shirt at the same time? You wear your hugs. So is that heart? So when you're not there, she has something or someone to remember you by? Is that when you're away?
She will never get away from my heart.
Aww.
Aww.
Oh, I'm gonna cry.
Don't cry.
That's the Heather Faye song. Well, all goes full circle. Kissing, kissing. They opened the first show with them kissing, and she had the beard on. So Go back and watch. It's fun.
Go back and watch.
Go back. We talked about the seriousness of the art. This is, you know, we're all super serious and stuff.
So serious, yeah.
So serious. Like Sirius XM serious. So let's kick Cameo. The Charlie Sheen thing is up on YouTube. Is there you give us the link, okay? This is the video of the art show. I'm gonna go see what the username is. Artdysfunk. Okay.
You might be able to turn
ARTDYS Funk. Yeah, right. If you want to check out that video of the do you guys do Scott and Carolyn? Do you guys have YouTube videos?
I do have some YouTube animations and videos, and
anything I have is terrible.
Oh, don't say that. I bet it's not.
No, I mean I don't have any like art videos or anything like that. I mean
it's you in a Vader mask going, hello.
I think I have like 10 seconds of me jumping over a mud puddle and cursing and then poking at a rotting pumpkin that I left on the porch for years.
That's awesome. Why wouldn't we want to see that?
I've not really gotten it. Well, I don't have a camera though, and that's part of not using YouTube. So it's not like I don't intend to. I just haven't. I don't have a camera to do that. So.
Kit Cameo. So Kit Cameo is, I'm guessing, not Kit's real name, just the art name, or.
Right. Mhm.
Okay. So Kit's been able to keep up.
Her ID, but we know her as Kit Cameo.
Yeah.
Aw. Kissing the dog. That's funny. You're putting Pap's beer in your mouth, and she's putting the dog Paps in her mouth.
No, Paps puts himself in your mouth.
Yeah.
Whoa!
But
This
a
show
dog
is rated
is
G
a sign of
or plus.
Yeah. Oh.
Well, it's been, I don't know, should we wrap? Are you guys done? Are you ready to, like, you guys have art to do? What are your plans? You gonna watch Netflix now if we go?
We're gonna watch some sort of troubled crime drama.
CSI.
Walk the dog outside. Maybe
That
go
sounds good.
get tacos.
Tacos?
Tacos.
Shifty eyes.
Tacos is a common theme here.
Kit's giving us the shifty eyes. Look out.
Oh, can you guys, are you against taking a picture of your tacos and placing them on the interwebs for us to
He
see?
does that. I do the cooking and
Oh, man.
You don't want to see my taco. And hers.
I'm going there. What?
No, I recently saw an article about apparently some restaurants don't allow you to take photos of your food.
Yes.
And if you request it, they'll actually take photos of your food in the kitchen for you. Yeah, I seriously just read this so that they can control the environment of the photo.
Do they have their own like in-house food photographer? Because it's not easy to take good pictures of food in general. Why would they care if they're the ones doing
Well,
it?
I swear I read an article saying that restaurants were upset about their food being misrepresented with bad cell phone photos or something like that.
That is so ridiculous. It's a piece of food. I mean, you can't fake a cockroach. Whatever.
Right.
It's either there or it's not.
That's why we aren't running a restaurant. We're making art.
You could run a restaurant and make art. Just a photo comes with every plate that goes.
Right.
The whole table. You could decorate all the tables, everything.
Art.
The menu, everything. The waiters could be wearing your art, everything. Be an artistic.
An Instagram photo of your meal on the way out the door.
Definitely. Actually, I think like when you walk in, you sign a waiver that you have to like post. Everything you do has to be like live on Google Plus and has to be posted at your table. Like the whole experience has to be on air.
Right.
That would be awesome. People might get sued, but not if they sign the little. Not on the dotted line. Sign the dotted line.
Right.
There was the restaurant once in New York that didn't do well, where literally the I forgot what it was called, but the waiters were supposed to insult you, like the whole gist.
Dick's Last Resort?
Yeah, Dick's. Yeah.
Oh, is that what it was? But
I've
there's
been
one
there.
in New York.
I've been
Oh, there's
there.
one that exists? Okay.
There's one in Chicago. That's the one I went to.
What kind
I've
of...
been to the one in Dallas. I think it's in Dallas. There's more than
It's
one.
all around, isn't it? I didn't think it was out of business.
So, but maybe I was thinking of a different restaurant. What kind of what kind of insults are we talking about?
Well, I mean, whenever I went, I was like 17, so they just called me Four Eyes. But
That's
like,
it.
Yeah, and
everything
they'll like walk by your table
Matthew.
and just throw a pile of napkins at you, and
I really think that would be a cool idea. The backdrop, the
dump
design.
silverware on the
yeah, it's still around. Dick's Last Resort.
The restaurant would be kind of like where everything tangles, like a mosaic art piece where the walls and the tablecloths and the settings on the table,
all art,
and all of that would blend in. You know what I'm saying?
And
that would be cool as
and there's
crap.
art, and then maybe even the plates that the food comes on has the art, everything. Yeah,
Exactly.
Well, there's one in Minneapolis. Cool, I might have to go there sometime.
Or how about that eating in the dark?
I don't know about that.
That would be a little
Just
strange,
make
wouldn't it?
plates like that little game when you were kids, that Wooly Bully with just like a face on it, so that you can play with your food and make it into his hair.
The thing about eating in the dark is you don't even know what you're eating. Like, that's the thing. That's the problem.
Yeah, and I mean, how would you feel unless you were eating with your fingers, because you'd be poking yourself with the fork, I would think.
And they could serve you whatever they want as long as you don't die, because you can't see it. Because you can't even see it. Oh, what did I just have? You just had some snail that we found in the back. We cooked it.
Pretty sure that was the theory in the UK.
Or the waiter or the waitress having their fingers in your plate and your food and then serving
Well,
it.
they might, because they can't see either. They're like, whoa! Imagine you're in the dark in this restaurant, all of a sudden drinks fall on your head. You're like, oh, all right. That's nice. You will get wet.
I think the wait staff has those night vision goggles they wear in there so they can't see their way around.
Kid Cameo said she would purposely smear food all over her face just to see the reaction when she walked out. I bet Charlie Sheen would say, winning! Right there. Well, thank you guys enough. I don't want to extend this too long because people won't watch. They'll be like, this thing is never going to end. Never! But it was a lot of fun hanging out. Carolyn Curtis, Scott Krichau. Go find them on Google+. And thanks everyone else. Tim Clary, Tom Doc Cozzarin, Wanda Kelley, Johnathan Maddox, who might come back, Brian Hirvela. Did I say your last name right? Brian?
Hirvela. It's close enough.
Close enough. Kid Cameo, Robert Headley, Thomas Duckett, Perrier. Scott is doing his dance. Paps, what are you pointing to?
Harlem Shake.
To Carolyn Curtis, to, what is it, charades? What are we, tacos, burritos, smells like, Teen Spirit, Kurt Cobain's birthday, meth, New Mexico, clap, thank you for the clap, what? Goodbye, everybody!
Thanks, Matt. Thanks, Carolyn.
Thank you, Matt.
Everybody.